Hey guys, it's Tommy CM, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another episode of Let's Build Alton Towers. Now in the last episode, as you can see in front of me, we built the Congo River Rapids, and that was looping around all of Katanga Canyon, which if we zoom out here you can just see the layout of it there. Now in this little space just here, and in this little space just here, and in that little space just there is the Runaway mine train, which is a powered coaster, meaning it just, it's powered electrically. It doesn't require a lift hill or gravity to make it go round. So yeah, that's going to be my next challenge. Couple of things to bear in mind. One is the build limit. I'm at 95% at the moment. I've got to build a coaster, which we all know building a coaster takes up a few percent. So I've got to build a coaster and I've got to theme it, and so therefore I believe I will be using the blueprint glitch, which I haven't done so yet, but I probably will end up doing that. So yeah, that's going to be this episode, and that will wrap up this map. That will be the end of this map, and then I'll be moving on to what is hopefully my final map, which will be Gloomy Wood, which has Duel, going down to Forbidden Valley where Nemesis and Galactica are, and that will be the final map of the recreation. So I'll shut up for a bit, and we'll jump straight on and start looking at building the Runaway mine train. Okay, so I've built the mine train. Now bear in mind it is a powered coaster. So I've built the layout. And the station is very long for the mine train. The train is actually probably the longest train in the park in terms of from the coasters. But in terms of the speed on this coaster, I've tried to limit it as best I can. So yeah, that's the station. So you come out and you do a bit of a helix up, and you go behind the operator's station, which is kind of just sat above, and the train goes underneath. Now, to get the speed, what I've done is I've set the exit from the station at 10 miles an hour. So you can see here the train, it's on 2 laps, so it leaves the station at some speed, and it gets up there. But because it's not, there isn't a powered coaster in the game. So what I've had to do is I've had to add chain lifts to get it to go round. Now, with the chain lift, I can't get rid of the walkway. It isn't an option on the mine train coaster. Very frustrating, but I've had to do that just to get to this section, and then from there it does kind of manage to get round itself. So you go down another helix, and you go round, and you swing round. You go into the tunnel just here. You come out on the other side just there, as you pass the rapids inside. And you swing round along the edge of the rapids here and wrap round up into the station. So that's the layout. It's not the fastest train. It's pretty fast in real life, but on this it isn't going to be, and that is purely and simply because there isn't a powered coaster in the game. As I say, a powered coaster, one being that it doesn't, the speed is controlled itself. It doesn't need a lift hill or anything to sort of gain momentum. It's automatic. So yeah, there isn't one in the game. I've had to put these lift hills in because that's the only way I can get the train around the track. If we look at the settings, it's at 0.3, and I can't get any less than that on the friction multiplier. And that is to get it round the track. If I had that any higher, it probably wouldn't get round. So I think that's as good as I can get it. I may make a few tweaks as I go on if I can think of anything else that I could do. There's a few bits I maybe want to adjust. I've obviously got to move some of these trees, etc. But I've got the general layout sorted, and now it's just a case of building the paths off. The exit path coming off this side, coming around the edge here, and then leading into the shop. And then the queue line here, just kind of coming down here. I'll sort out the terrain because you don't go up any steps to get here, but it is uphill. So that will be coming down here and joining onto the main entrance. And then the main bit of theming really is the kind of wooden structure that the train kind of sits in just there as you walk up to the entrance. In an ideal world, I'd get it a little bit closer to the entrance, but with the way that the helix works and the way that the angles are bent with the lift hill chain as well, because bearing in mind the lift hill can only be placed on a straight run, that's another issue I've had. So there's a few little bits like that. So again, once you see the final thing and we have a POV at the end of the video, a few things to bear in mind. It isn't going to be perfect because the game doesn't allow it to be perfect, but I'm doing the best I can with it. So that's the caveat. That's the disclaimer. But yeah, no, I think that's all right as a layout, and you can see there that's the sort of track that the mine train does take up. So yeah, I will see you shortly once I have finished theming the Runaway mine train. Okie dokie, here it is, the Runaway mine train. So, I have, as you can see, I've finished theming it, putting trees and rocks and fencing and a lot of wood, a lot of wood around the ride. There's you kind of go through a lot of sort of timber structures around here. So what I've kind of done is along the side of the path, I've added wooden beams here just to give that sort of wooden feel to it. Although it is a mine train coaster and it is, does have wooden elements to it, it doesn't quite stand out as a wooden type coaster, if that makes sense. So that's what I've done there, using a bit of the frames, etc., to go through. Obviously, there's the elements here, and we talked about how the chain is there just to give the ride a bit of speed. Go around this way. This is just decorated with rocks, really. There is an access road just down here. So yeah, it's not something you really recognise that much when you're actually on the ride, but you do actually go over a backstage access road. So yeah, that's just down there. Then obviously you swing around this bit, and then back into the tunnel. Just here we've got a bit of a path just to get down to the safety bit on the rapids. But yeah, the train goes back through the tunnel, back out this way over the river. And yeah, it heads back to the station. As I said previously, it is a slow ride. I can't make it any faster, but then again, it is only a family-powered coaster. But yeah, the fastest it does go is through the station, unfortunately. But there we go, can't really help that. What else shall we show you? So let's go down to the main entrance of it. So yeah, main entrance, made the sign. A bit of a weird text on the sign. The word Runaway is just slightly odd and a bit weird. So yeah, and the mine train just sits below it. So yep, that's the main sign. We'll go through, and you go up. Now, what usually happens on the Runaway train is there is a short queue, and there is a section that is for when it gets really busy at Alton Towers, and the queue needs to be extended. So that's what I've done here. So I've put a little gate in here for the extended queue line, which goes all the way down the side and comes all the way back up. Or I've just got the short one. Now, most of the time, I think most people will know that when they go there, it is the short queue that you end up using. So that's what we've done there. Here's the station with the train just coming in nicely. And then what you do on here, there's no lockers, there's no anything like that. There is just a red line that says place bags behind the red line. And that's what you do. You put your bags down there, you go on the ride, and they're completely safe because obviously this is the exit and people go out there and leave the ride. So yeah, completely safe. But yeah, people just leave the bags there. There's the operator's control booth, and he gets down here and goes down into this little section. This is a little gate. And believe it or not, this is quite a hidden section. I only found this actually looking on Google Maps. I didn't even know this was there. Again, it's another part you don't really recognise when you're on the ride. So, this is a nice little seating area that you can sit below. A little bit of fencing over the top there. And this is just a path in between, in between the Midway Games and the shop. Now, the actual exit of the ride goes out a little bit further. And then that leads you into the shop. As I say, I'm not fitting out the shop just because I've not got the piece count to do it, and to do it well either. So, but yeah, that I'll just zoom out just so you can take a look at the whole thing. That is that's the Runaway train, and you know what? Now that I've seen it all finished with the rapids in tow as well, because these rides do sort of interact with each other, and they are, although they are two separate rides, they almost come as a package. You know, that they are that associated with each other. So now that I look at it out there, I'm actually, I'm pretty pleased with how that's come out. In all honesty, I was a bit nervous building it, thinking as to how well it would look, but no, I'm quite pleased with the end result there. So yeah, I think the only thing to do now is to finish with a bit of a POV. So, as I say, hold on to your hats, or not, because it's not going to go anywhere at the speed this goes. But we will experience the Runaway mine train. I'll speed it up just to get it back in, and I bet it's only done one lap. Is it going to? Nope, it's going to stop. Brilliant. Right. Now, what view do I go on? Because I don't want that view. But if I go back, sit at the back of the ride, this is like a realistic viewpoint, I think, isn't it? This is like a realistic view of, if you don't get the front seat, this is what you get. So, yeah, enjoy the Runaway mine train. There we go. Hope you enjoyed that. I think that is probably as close as I can get the mine train. I as always with these things, I always notice something that I'm missing as I'm going around, as I'm recording. There's always something that pops up, and I've remembered that I've not got the actual on-ride camera in the tunnel. So I will put that in before I finish the map. As you can see at the bottom, I'm at 98%. Now what I've done is I have gotten rid of the towers up here to make that. So yeah, unfortunately they've had to go, but I don't think it makes that much of a difference now. So all I'll do is I'll just move this sign down here, so that people can see that there is a second map on the workshop. But yeah, obviously it's not on there yet. Just so you, just in case anyone got confused there, it's not on there yet. It will be after all of the sections of the park are done. The other thing I did was I shortened the cable cars and reduced some of the trees here, because they were kind of just doing. They weren't really doing anything in terms of in terms of a sight line, because if you were down there, it already looks like it's full of trees anyway. I'm just going to get rid of the sign pieces I've been working with down here. They can all go. But yeah, you see, ever the professional, me just tidying up as I'm doing the video. But yeah, really hope you enjoyed that. As I say, I'm at 98%, so all I'm going to do on this map now is just put some lighting in, because if you look at that, there's hardly any lights at all. So I need to put the lighting in The lighting down this path's fine. But yeah, just benches and lighting all around this area, and that will take me up to the full 100% for map 3. And then it is final map time, he says with his fingers crossed. Final map time, which will include Duel, Nemesis and Galactica. So that will be the final part of Alton Towers. So yeah, next episode will more than likely, I won't guarantee it yet because I've not sort of planned it in my head, but more than likely be Duel. So yeah, the haunted house interactive dark ride, the shooting ride that you can test your skills and score points on. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that, and hope you've enjoyed watching this map come together. As I say, it's been of a labour of love. I'll describe this map as. It really doesn't feel like there's that much in there. It still blows my mind that this is already 100%. But as I said before, that Wicker Man alone is like 9% of it. So yeah, I guess we have to kind of take that and accept it really. But yeah, if you have enjoyed it, please do give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. We are getting ever closer to the end now, and I will be doing a full park tour of Alton Towers on Planet Coaster console once it's all done. So yeah, I shall see you in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.